can play the fool, babe. Just play the game and hold on, maybe. But I'm done with the waiting, done with the waiting. I'm done with playing nice. Now look me in the eyes. Tell me, tell me, tell me what you see inside. Not gonna ask you twice. Not looking for your lies. Tell me, do you wanna go? Do you wanna go? Do you wanna go? Do you wanna go? Those who wanna play by the rules and a blast with nothing to obtain. So let's level up to remain. 'Cause I'm done with the waiting, done with the waiting. I'm done with playing nice. Now look me in the eyes. Tell me, tell me, tell me what you see inside. Not gonna ask you twice. Not looking for your lies. Tell me, do you wanna go? 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 I'm riding the wave tonight. Gonna try it while the world's bright. Got room for one if that's alright. That's alright. Do you wanna go? 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 Do you wanna go?
Hello, 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 squaddies. Happy Saturday. How's everyone today? Nice to see you all. I do finally have internet where I am, but it's going to be a test today how good that internet is because it's not the same service I had before. So you can let me know in the comment section how it goes today. And then based on that, I'll know whether or not I have to make some changes. But I am back on my laptop with some relatively steady internet. I hope everyone is having a great weekend. I have been so busy with the moving, which is finished, by the way. Just unpacking that I've lost track of the days, and I was like, wait, it's Saturday? Really? It's Saturday? Really? But welcome everyone to the podcast. So happy to have you all here. Wait, Quantum Object, you said, weird enough, YouTube recommended this to me while there's actually a party upstairs. Oh my god, wait, no. Oh my gosh, guys. Do you know what I've done? I've clicked on the wrong video and I've read that comment from a completely different live. But it totally makes sense because I was just playing music. Oh gosh, I am still mentally exhausted, you can tell. But welcome to the chat, everyone. Let's see who's here. I think all the usuals are here. Hi, Connie. Hi, Joan Commonwealther. Kim Hamilton. Hello. Hi, Carolyn. Oh, Slav. Oh gosh, Slav Isa M Gigras? Is that how you say your name? Oh, I think I've actually seen your name before, but I think you're relatively new. That's probably why I didn't recognize you straight away. Hello, Lucy. Hi, Rosa. Hey, 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 Bonnie. Alrighty then. So let's get on with it. Welcome everyone to the chat, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. So the question for today is: has the British monarchy lost the world's respect? And I think it's been it is a very, very slow burn towards them just becoming priors, and people little by little starting to see who they are. And I do think the Oprah interview, did open um, a lot more wounds, but there were many before, leading up to that, of course. But for the first time, I am actually seeing more news outlets, especially international outlets, being a little bit more brave, and some writers being a little bit more brave in their coverage and being a little bit more critical and not just playing along with the not so royal fairy tale. So that's what we're going to get into a little bit later today. But first of all, our sis, our good sis, our Duchess, has not come out the house. Neither has she dropped anything, which, as a fan, a little disappointing, but ultimately, we always want Meghan to do what's best for Meghan. And I'm sure she had an amazing birthday surrounded by people that, she loves and that support her. And to be honest, after last year's ridiculous reaction to 40 times 40 from some quarters of the British press, I'm not surprised that she probably wanted something a little bit more quiet. And I'm sure she was probably doing things behind the scenes to give back, but we didn't get any release of archetypes of updates of 40 times 40. But I'm sure that Meghan had a wonderful day. Lots of birthday wishes from different organisations wishing her a happy birthday, and of course the Sussex fundraiser also started. Now I haven't checked it, but the last time I checked it, it was something like 25,000. It might be a little bit more. If anybody can give us an update, please. But hopefully, within the coming days, we'll see something. And I'm just actually glad that the royal rodents didn't have anything to write about, because that they were sitting there waiting for something, and I'm glad that they got nothing as well. Benjamin, they don't have to glossy varnish that they once did. For those of us who can remember, they were losing gloss by Diana, only to get it back again once she was in. Yes. And they squandered all of that gloss as well because they were jealous of Diana and her popularity. Instead of using that, they decided to basically, along with the press, hound her to her death. And it's just a repetition with Meghan of what we were seeing with Diana, also with the element of race. On night night with Charles and his bag of money, Andrew and the Caribbean trip, yes, the respect was gone. Yes, I mean, there's been a lot of there were so many things over the decades leading up to the Oprah interview, and I feel like the Oprah interview, because it was two people speaking from within the organization, and we haven't had that many times, other than Diana most famously, and Fergie. But now to have another two people so prominent, so popular, to be speaking ill of this organization, because that's what they are. They're not a family, they're an organization. Um, I think that just opened even more, exposed, I think, the royal family even more, and it's a slow descent. But anyway, starting or going back to some more positive things. Yes, Meghan got some happy birthdays from a lot of people, and one of those people was Tyler Perry. And we know that it was Tyler Perry that gave the Sussexes shelter and security when they most needed it, he came to their rescue. I've always believed that there were probably other people helping them as well, but Tyler Perry is one of the few that came out publicly, and he also wrote his birthday on his Instagram and on Twitter saying, "I've had a front row seat in your life for the past." Hang on a sec. I'm gonna stop for a moment because I think there's something wrong with the sound. Guys, is there something wrong with my sound? Did my sound go funny a bit there? Okay, I think it's okay now, so I'm going to continue. But please let me know if my sound was a bit funny there. So Tyler Perry said, "I've had a front row seat in your life for the past few days. I've watched you endure things that would have broken a lot of people. I'm so incredibly proud to see how happy you, your husband, and your kids are now. It fills me with joy. So happy birthday, Princess." And that's great to know that they are so happy. And it's great to have firsthand from someone who probably sees them on the regular and has supported them. So to hell with all of those rumors that Harry and Meghan don't have friends, that they don't have supporters. Because can you even name any of William and Kate's friends? Nope. Bonnie, I saw an article about William and Kate want to spend more time in the US. What? After treatment of the American Duchess? Yes. And after they've spoken, not just them, but their press rats also. Well, I guess they speak through their press rats. After they've spoken about um, Meghan and her Americanness. I mean, I think a couple of podcasts ago, I actually had a slide of several, but I think like 4 or 5 headlines. Oh, it has nothing to do with Meghan's race. It's because she's American. It's her Americanness we don't like, really. So why do they want to spend more time in the US for? Archive, his family has not changed. The spirit of jealousy and envy runs thick, yes. And it will forever be there. They just don't understand how to operate in the modern world. Or anyone who's been listening to my podcast for a while, if you would like to be a mod, then please drop any animal emoji and I will add you. But I have to. I know who's been listening to my podcast for a while and comments regularly. So if I see that you're someone actually, I will add you as mod. Um, yes, I love Tyler Perry's birthday greeting as well. It was so simple, but it said a lot, and I think it told us a lot. And I'm sure that Tyler would have asked before posting that. Benjamin, I'm so glad you wrote that. Royal Reddit tried to make a fictitious narrative she was fighting with Tyler Perry. Yeah, I mean anything to make it seem like um that they haven't got friends, they haven't got support. But we know that they do. And it must make them very, very mad that one of Hollywood's biggest directors, not just in terms of the movies that he's made, but he owns a whole darn studio, is supporting them so publicly. So yes, there was that. Also, something a little bit more sad, but kind of has a positive ending. Abigail Spencer, who is Meghan's friend and also who she shares a birthday with, posted a very heartfelt message on her Instagram talking about a lot of her struggles. She didn't say where the root of those struggles came from, but she talked about her anxiety, how it was so bad. At certain points, she felt like she was having heart attacks. That she would sometimes crawl up in a ball on the floor. Some really, really, really deep things. But she also said that she's come out the other side of it, and I'm sure Meghan and her whole circle would have been supporting her. This is actually a picture of her and her son, and is it Jay Alexander, the one who does the catwalk training on America's Next Top Model? So she seems to have come out the other side of that. So good for you, Abigail. Good for you. Meghan does have some amazing friends. In other positive Meghan news, Meghan Misunderstood, which is the book by, is it Sean Smith, is finally getting the recognition it deserved. It's actually selling out in a lot of places. So for some people, it's taking a bit of time to be able to get the book. But I'm so glad that this is selling out the way it is. And I think it does prove that when we put our energy in one place, it can either do great things and promote great things, or just promote the worst of people. And I think maybe going forward, I know it's hard not to react to the stuff like with the Tom Bauer nonsense, but I think it's better to, and sometimes it is necessary to react. But what I'm trying to say is I think in the future we should be a lot more careful, because to be honest, even for me, it wasn't until lots of people started messaging about it and putting it in the comment section that I really was even paying attention to Tom Bauer. Like, I barely even spoke about Tina Brown, but so many people were saying, "What about Tina Brown?" Like, I don't want to speak about her. But anyway, glad to see Meghan Misunderstood doing well. Harry's memoir is coming up, and really glad that matters. All right, on to something a little bit more funny, or at least I think it's funny anyway. Do you know the number of people that have seen me? This whole pegging thing is probably the most relatable and modern thing about William. So Rolling Stone woke up in the morning, chose violence, and said that we don't care about lawyers. And they've posted this, I believe it was just yesterday it came out, hasn't been removed from KP yet. And, Rolling Stone is one of those publications that is known for pushing the envelope. And I'm sure that their editors know that there's other publications that have taken the article down when they've written articles like this. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking they've written this knowing that lawyers are going to come after them, and they don't care. That's how I'm taking this. So basically, they wrote this article. I did post it in the community tab if you want to read the whole thing. It was quite funny. Saying a royal inspiring straight men to get pegged. That's beautiful. And the part that I howled, the way I howled. It says that this is a small segment from the whole article. Quick, what's Prince William's legacy? Is it being second in the line of succession to the British throne? Is it his brief tenure as the cover star of the countless issues of J17 and People's Sexiest Man Alive editions, and his subsequent disappearance from such publications after he hit his 30s and revealed himself to be genetically left behind with his glamorous mother and father? Ouch. Or is it inadvertently popularizing a sex act that had been most prominently associated with a tongue-in-cheek superhero franchise? There is so much burn in that one paragraph. This is how I know that Rolling Stone don't give an F about lawyers. And they doubled down with a podcast episode. So Rolling Stone have a podcast called Don't Let This Flop. And it's the most recent episode. I haven't listened to the whole thing, but I think they only talk about William at the beginning. So if you want to go listen to that, but they are doubling down. Like, as far as I can see, if they're going to put it in an article and put it in a podcast, they give no Fs. Let's go to your comments before we continue. Slavika, they better not come to New York City. Yeah, I don't think they'll be welcome there. But given that they copy everything, would it surprise me if they literally copied the Sussex's location? Oh gosh. Can you imagine if they went to the UN? Oh, my sister, the Rangers are mad because Princess Meghan is trending. Yes. Meghan has pretty much been trending since her birthday. And I do believe that they have unleashed a bot attack, because also trending is, I think it's like Meghan Markle is a liar or something like that. But when you look at all of the comments, when you look at all of the commentators on that hashtag, you can tell that they're just all bots. Like, it's so obvious and transparent by now. None of them look like genuine accounts. All right. My sister and Rolling Stone was trolling the Prince of Pegging. Yes, they want them clicks, and this is the thing now. And see now, did I not say this? Maybe. Actually, this time last year, I think I was saying that there's going to come a point where writing critically of the other royals is going to be more profitable to the press than keeping them close. And I think you're slowly seeing a small kind of walk towards us getting to that point, because I'm sure that they're looking at their clicks, their views, their reads, and they're seeing like it's literally just not worth to play nice to people who aren't nice anyway. Mm. A sister in Prince Piggy's legacy is copying everything from his brother. Yeah. Catherine, hi squad. I got the Meghan book last year when Special K interviewed him. Oh, did Special K interview him? I think Sarah on Twitter interviewed him as well in Spaces. I haven't been able to get a hold of him, but I will try. I do want to get the Kindle or Audible. Family, which one should I get? Okay, those of you um who have read it on any of those, please do tell Catherine in the comment section which one she should get. Prince, yeah, yikes for Prince William. I mean that was a burn, right? Okay, on more positive stuff. Camp Fed. You remember Camp Fed? That was the last holiday fundraiser, birthday fundraiser for Harry and Meghan, and they gave us a shout out on Twitter. They said, "Oh, we raised 100,000, by the way, for those of you who don't remember," and then Harry and Meghan put an extra 100,000 on top. So they tweeted, "Shout out to the Sussex Squad for lifting up women and girls. Your generosity has so far supported 160 women, including 60 healthcare workers, 22 in Zimbabwe, 21 in Zambia, 17 in Malawi, and 2 in Ghana. Thank you for supercharging our global sisterhood at Free Peeper. Lovely." And somebody from the squad replied by saying, "Great news, we love you." And then Camp Ted responded by saying, "And we love all of you for being so passionate and supportive of your sisters in Africa." Amen to that. And well done to the whole squad for that fundraiser. It was an amazing fundraiser. Not just because of the amount of money we raised, but there was just something about that particular fundraiser that just felt like, you know, it just felt so warm, and the cause was so nicely picked. So well done to everyone who was involved in that. Oh, thank you so much, Slavisa. Is it? Do you know? Please spell your name phonetically. Is it Slavisa or Slavika? Please let me know. And thank you so much for the soup sticker. Hi, Evelyn. Thanks for joining. Thank you, everyone, if you're just joining now. Just run. I replied to Cat Fighter, they like my comment. Yeah, they seem very active on social media. Right. So that's that. In news that I didn't think I would ever read news. So the Queen is being dragged into a diplomatic row over 31 tons of gold in a London vault. Venezuela's President Maduro is accusing the Bank of England of an act of piracy and theft for refusing to hand 1.6 billion worth of gold over to his regime. Now, um, I am no global political expert, so I can't speak, too much on the situation in Venezuela or what this is about entirely. The only thing I know in Venezuela is about Venezuela is, as far as the economy goes, that there is a lot of inflation and hyperinflation and issues with the currency. So I can imagine anything to do with money, currency, and gold, it's going to be a huge issue for them. But I will read from an article in Bloomberg UK that says Venezuela's central bank weighs strategy after court defeat. Queen Elizabeth II sent Maduro diplomatic correspondence, and those are the letters that you can see. So, Venezuela's government has produced letters apparently signed by the Queen to bolster its claim to more than 1 billion worth of gold stored in the Bank of England. Listen, one thing that I'm definitely not surprised about is colonizers stealing anyone's gold. So without even knowing anything, I feel like I just want to take Venezuela's side with this one. So he goes on to say the diplomatic correspondence is evidence that the UK recognized Nicolas Maduro as Venezuela's president, the head of Venezuela's central bank. It undermines a ruling by a judge in London last month that denied Maduro's administration control of the bullion. The UK's in-nuisance of visas to Maduro's officials also strengthens the government's case. The case. Maduro's government said that he will appeal The most recent court ruling, 3 letters signed by the Queen make for an official position. Bullion, which is stored in the vaults of the Bank of England, represents about a fifth of Venezuela's 5.2 billion international reserves, excluding special drawing rights in the International Monetary Fund, which the country can't currently access. Okay, so it goes on a little bit, and if you want to know a little bit more about that yourself or read into it, you can go and um read up. But just again, it would just seem um the royals being involved in yet and what appears to be another scandal. Now, having said that, um, given the Queen's current condition, I don't even know if the woman even knows what this is about. She's probably just given things to sign, and it's just her advisors and the advisors relaying things to the government. So I can't say that Betty 100% has control over whatever this is, whatever's going on. But there is her signature, and yeah, a beef with Venezuela. If anyone is a little bit more politically clued up on this, by the way, please feel free to to comment in the comment section. D, whatever, regardless of what's going on in Venezuela, if we've got their gold, we should give it back. Yes. I mean, my question is, and what the article didn't quite address, is how the Bank of England got this gold anyway. Like, that's the first thing. Oh, okay. So it's Slavica, but Slavica, but you say it Slavica. Okay, Slavica. Thank you so much for clarifying that. Yeah. Why do they have this gold in the first place? That's the question I have. Miss P talks. I had friends who visited the Church of England's vault and saw the gold. I was meant to go, but I could not get time off of work. Can you actually go and visit the Bank of England's gold? Are you serious? Wow. Let's have a look. Visit the Bank of England's gold. Shall we do a squad trip to go see the Bank of England's gold? Go see all of Betty's gold. Oh my goodness. So the Bank of England holds over 200 billion, 200 billion worth of gold. And that makes the Bank of England the second largest keeper of gold worldwide. Jesus. Okay, so not many people are allowed to visit our vaults. However, the Queen and Prince of Charles have had a look around. Oh, I'm sure they have. I'm absolutely sure they had. But they said our customers can trade their gold bars with other customers in the bank. When a customer trades gold, it usually doesn't move. Instead, the name of the owner will change it on our system. Okay. Wow. I mean, just imagine that much money. On to the next thing. So Harry's security battle continues. So he has, let me just open up the article. I touched upon it in the Meghan birthday podcast, but I didn't want to focus on it too much. So he's filed a second lawsuit over ban on paying for police protection. Y'all, this is just the most ridiculous thing, because we have established over and over again that you can pay for private security, that you can pay for private armed guards, and that celebrities have done it before. And the British press keep pushing this narrative that you can't have guns for hire. You literally can. And shows like Jeremy Vine, who are all on the propaganda payroll, putting out tweets like this, like, should we let Prince Harry pay for his own police protection? How are you sitting there and asking, should we let Prince Harry pay for his police protection, instead of, should we pay for Andrew's police protection? How is that not the question? And someone posted on Twitter, Harry was born HRH Prince, and the firm is letting him spend his hard-earned money for expensive lawsuits so he can pay for his own protection. People still believe that Diana refused to have royal protection after her divorce. The firm has learnt nothing from Diana's tragedy, indeed. But Harry said very clearly in one of his interviews, I think it was the one when he was in South Africa, that he's going to protect his family at all costs. So Anyway, just in terms of the details, Harry filed another lawsuit for the decision not to allow him to pay for protection in the UK. And it's the first time actually the lawsuit mentions the Met Police. And as a response to this, an ex-police chief came out and said um, the Met Office and Met Police argue British police are not guns for hire. They literally are. We've established that. And he goes on to say, rather than seek a workable solution, he has taken this route, which is fraught with issues. It's insulting. It's insulting that we allow someone who is obviously at high security risk, so are his children, so is his wife, to go unprotected like this. Given what happened to Diana, Harry fought on the front lines in Afghanistan and was a target by uh, Bin Laden and Al Qaeda. Meanwhile, his father was running around getting bags of cash money from the Bin Laden family. Um, so yeah, the former chief went on to say, for a man who allegedly wants to protect his privacy, he goes about it in a funny way of achieving it. I believe this is personal. I believe whoever you are who's making these comments was probably paid by the firm. So you can be quiet and sit down. But this is a narrative that they're trying to push here at all costs because they know that they are probably likely to lose this case. And I'm glad that Harry has done this because they can never ever turn around and say, "Oh well, he he didn't have security." No, he was trying to get security that you didn't let him pay for. And also, the Met Police are, are recruiting more armed officers to protect royals and VIPs, and it doesn't surprise me. In the times that we're living in now, people are angry. Cost of living around the world. I mean, I talk about it in the context of the UK because I'm a UK citizen, but this is something that's happening all over the place. And in times like this, VIPs, the wealthy, and yes, indeed, people like royals who don't contribute anything to society end up becoming targets. So really, they have no excuse to not allow Harry to pay for his own security because they're stepping up security for other royals and VIPs anyway. Also, if you haven't read it, please do go and read this column that Omid wrote. This is for his Yahoo column, and he talks about Princess Diana and how she's being silenced by the firm and William. He says Princess Diana fought for much of her royal life to tell her story and be heard. For Panorama, she put everything on the line, and her braveness has inspired millions. Sadly, now her voice has been silenced once again. And I think most people agree that whether or not Martin Bashir got that interview illegitimately, whether or not he lied, um, Diana would have said the same thing. Whether he didn't lie and show her those, whether he didn't lie and just managed to get the interview, or whether he did lie and use fake and forged documents, she would have said the exact same thing. She said it in numerous other tapes, in other interviews, and so she pretty much said the same thing to Bashir. Because let's just say he had gotten this interview without lying and without showing her those forged documents. What exactly do you think? Sorry, what exactly do people think that Diana would have said to Bashir? That this family was lovely and everything was easy breezy and wonderful? Of course not. We all saw how this young woman was um, basically just fed to the wolves, had no idea what she was getting herself into, was gaslit by Charles and his mistress and everybody within the firm. So I just have to sit there and wonder, what do they think if Diana had just agreed to this interview, having never seen those forged documents? What do people think that she would have said? Anywho, on to the next thing. Sarah Fergie. Boy, I bet this woman really wishes that she had lived another life outside of the royal fold. Just married some other aristocrat type who wasn't within the House of Windsor. So she has reportedly bought a 5 million Mayfair home made up of two flats knocked together. Only a short walk from Ghislaine Maxwell's Muse house, where the Prince Andrew was pictured with his arm around the waist of Virginia Guthrie. Ferguson, 62, is moving into one of London's most exclusive streets, popular with the Beatles in the 1960s, and also Rihanna when she comes to the UK, despite previously describing her being continually on the verge of financial bankruptcy and having little understanding of money. She has been seen in the Mayfair area viewing properties. Yeah, she's been seen in the Mayfair area viewing properties. Okay, so on the topic of always being on the verge of bankruptcy and having little understanding of money, she probably has access or could get access just by her name to some of the best financial advisors who can invest in whatever little she has smartly, who can help her to create a portfolio. I mean, the average person with a little bit of reading and research can do that. So, why does somebody who's within the fold of an institution like this not know how to handle money, and is continually on the verge of financial bankruptcy? Um, but this is exactly what the institution wants for everybody who's in it. They want you to be reliant and dependent on them and just be at their beck and call. They never want you to leave or to be able to do anything by yourself. Because if you do, like Harry and Meghan, you'll be able to speak out against them. And I want to know where she got that 5 million from. Were there an extra couple millions in the cash bag from Charles? All right, let's go to your comments before we carry on. Judy, the Queen is 96 years young. I don't think she knows at this age if it's she's coming or going. Yeah, they probably just give her pieces of paper to sign. Lavender Rose, there should be no debates on whether Prince Harry and his family needs protection. Yes, but they want to create a whole debate and a fake media storm to convince people that Harry is just being silly. Like, it's ridiculous. The guy is asking to pay for his own security. He's not even asking you to pay for his security, which, quite frankly, he's 100% owed. Thank you so much, Lex, for the super sticker. Much appreciated, darling. Emeralds, Diana spoke her truth, and that's what's important. Yes. Elaine, you're just starting to read Mega Misunderstood. Oh, do you want to come on the podcast maybe in a couple of weeks, Elaine, and talk about it? What's your opinion? I think what I might do is I'll read it eventually, and then I will have an actual podcast where we can all discuss it and see if we can get the guy on the show. Thank you so much, everyone. If you're joining the podcast, please thumbs up. Crazy Trekker. Are you called Crazy Trekker because you like hiking? She said her truth, and it's a shame. William has sold his mother for pennies. William has forgotten his little current fame is because of Diana's legacy. Exactly. And he's been able to ride on that. And he could have used that for something positive, like Harry has done. He's decided to just waste it all because he's power hungry. Thank you so much, Aura. So much easier to sit here day after day when I have such amazing support from you all. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to the mods also. You're doing a great job today. Vanessa, so does this mean Mandy Andy is moving there with her? No more welfare from the UK taxpayers. Well, they're putting her in this story and making it seem like it's just her moving in there, but I wouldn't be surprised if Andrew's going to move in with her also. And he's still getting taxpayer money for his protection because he's a hereditary prince of the realm, so therefore he needs police protection the same way Prince Harry does, but Prince Harry even more so actually, because of the way that his family are being targeted. Thank you so much to I'm just gonna say HL, your initials for the catch up. I've just seen it. Thank you. Also, I'll just another mention, guys and dolls. If you are going to send me donations through PayPal, first of all, thank you very much. Secondly, just be very, very careful which button you press because there's request money and then there's send money. And the other day, somebody pressed, they must have pressed request money. And so I had to cancel that request. And then they messaged me with teary emojis asking if they had offended me in any way or if they said anything. And I was like, no, I because you requested money instead of sending money. So just be careful when you push the buttons, please. And no, that person, you did not offend me at all. And thank you very much for your donation. Joan, thinking of buying the book Diana in her own words. Yes, I had the book also, but it's just, oi, taking the time to read it. Kate Hunter, oh my god, can we do a squaddy book club? So there is actually, I believe, a squaddy book club. I don't know how active they are. I think there are a group of squaddies who are reading Meghan Misunderstood. You have to check Twitter because I haven't really been following them, so I don't know like exactly where they are or what they're doing with that. But perhaps if it would encourage uh, everybody to read a little bit more, I could start something. But you have to, do you know what I'll do? I'll post it in the community tab and then you can give me your responses on how you think that would best work. It's better for you to tell me other than me sitting here and, bashing my head against the wall and thinking, how are we going to do it? Because maybe it won't work for you. So we'll try and figure something out based on what you would like. Shad. These are people who lost half the Commonwealth, yes. Kate William. Lavender, and how are you enjoying your new home? I'm actually loving it. It's a very, very old Victorian building that used to be a school. So it's gorgeous on the outside. And the way they've renovated it on the inside is very beautiful. So I'm loving it. But I'm only going to be here for a very short amount of time because I live with the papa and I will be moving out very, very soon. So, but I'm enjoying it where I am now. It's like it's similar to the old place in terms of like the area, like really nice forest nearby, so I can go for my morning hike. And thank you all for being so patient with me during this move. Maggie, Angie knows how Charles will kick him out after the Queen goes and he's getting ready. Yeah, get all the money, get all the goodies now. Anastasia, does that mean that her ex is going to move in the new purchase house with her? Well, that's the question, isn't it? Guess we'll have to wait and see. But even if he does, I say this all the time, don't I? Say Andrew moves in, right? What are the British people going to do? Andrew was given basically 12 million by the Queen to make a huge court case go away. What did the British people do? They did nothing. We know all about Charles and Jimmy Savile's friendship. What did the British people do? They did nothing. They never do anything. So Andrew moves in, and what? He knows that nobody's going to do anything. And they will continue to do anything they want until the British people hold them accountable. And right now, the British people just cannot grow a backbone and hold them accountable. Catherine, squad, I want to know the UK taxpayer. I want to know who is paying the security bill when Peck and Ties come to the US. Um, I'm wondering because this is technically not a diplomatic trip. This is to do with technically it's a commercial trip, right? So really and truly, they should be the ones who are paying for it because this is not in any way a diplomatic trip. This is like them trying to flex. Margaret, the reason he wants to pay security is because if hired by the firm, they would control what's happening and control the narrative. Yes, that is also a very, very good point, Margaret, and thank you for saying that. And if something was to go wrong, they would have a lot more to answer for. Uh, Katerina, Sunday blessings from a cold, wet, windy Kiwi morning. I am so sorry. Hopefully, it'll get sunny. Is that how it usually is around this time in New Zealand? You said Kiwi is that is New Zealand, right? Alan Vernon, thank you so much for the super sticker, darling. Much appreciated. Yeah, Lex, it shouldn't be the UK, sorry, the US taxpayer paying for them to come. Tim Hamilton, you think it will probably be the US taxpayer? Well, I guess we'll find out afterwards, and it'll be interesting to see how the US taxpayer feels about paying for um feels about paying for royals coming on private jets to do an eco award show. Hmm. All right, on to the next thing. Okay, we're almost at the end. Oi, the poor Cambridge children. Um, Meg Monroe saying who's going to advocate for these children? Yes, they live in the lap of ill-gotten luxury, but being paraded as PR objects. Princess Charlotte looks sad and dejected with her father, is busy causing public attention. It's plain as day, just awful parenting. Yes. I mean, look at her picture when they're taking pictures. Sorry, look at Charlotte's face when they're taking pictures with that woman. And here again, you got in the middle, Kate with her usual grinning and grinning and grinning, overdone belly laugh when nobody else is laughing that much. And yes, people have commented that she's not wearing, the Diana ring. And people might want to make, nothing of that. I don't know. It could be being shined by the royal butlers. But if it was Meghan not wearing her wedding ring, people would say something about it. And she's almost never seen with it. So, yeah, I hope someone can help these children through what is going to be uh, a very, very bumpy ride, not just because of the way their parents are acting, using them for PR, using them as a shield, but just the whole situation of having royal parents who clearly there's issues in their marriage, and then once they get to their teen years, having the press um, follow and dissect and criticize every single last thing they do and making whatever issues they're going through even worse. I will not be one of those people because I feel like the British press do enough of that with royal children. For me, it's just always about um, the the selfishness of their parents. I've always said that I hope the Cambridge children can escape this institution and find as much freedom as their cousins. But that's it with the royals. In terms of just overall UK news, this came out this week. Rishi Sunak, who is one of the two candidates for Tory party leadership, now that Bojo is on the outs, he said that people with extreme hatred of Britain could be de radicalised under what's called the Prevent scheme. Rishi Sunak said he plans to widen the definition of extremism, which include people who vilify the country. And I'm almost certain by what when they say vilify the country, that also means criticizing government without a doubt, because the Tory government never missed an opportunity to increase uh, their reach of power. Um, the whole idea of okay, if someone is genuinely a terrorist, like they have committed a terror offense, something that could potentially harm the public or has harmed the public, I don't think anybody is going to argue with putting them in jail or putting or trying to put them through some kind of de-radicalization program if it's taken that far, right? But when I look at this, I basically see an attempt by the government to silence any type of dissent whatsoever. And that is the slippery slope that I feel like we're going down with this Tory government. And I think the sign that this person is holding kind of like really sums up how I feel. I love my country. I'm ashamed of my government, not just ashamed, but um I'm angered by them. I'm disappointed by them. And quite frankly, I'm troubled uh, in by the direction that we are going in this country, because we are meant to be a free and open democracy that celebrates things like free speech, and it's just so hypocritical of this government that is basically now using their position to turn Britain into a Ponzi scheme to try and target, individuals who want to speak against anything they do, when they are actually hurting the country more than anyone. Um, and one of the things that's happened over the last 2 years is the amount of money that went into Tory donors' pockets during the Mr. C pandemic, right? So Tory peers being given huge amounts of money. Now, one of them was a lady called Michelle Monet, who I believe she runs a lingerie company. So I have no idea why she was being given this particular money, millions for PPE, but she runs a lingerie company. However, I do believe that she has a Queen's honor, and that she sits in the House of Lords. So once again, British government officials patting each other on the back, doing schemy things. Um, and if we're going to put the hammer down on anyone in this country, it should be coming down on them first. Um, but yeah, that is pretty much all. Just to end on something cute and positive, the Sports Photography Award winners were revealed, and there is this beautiful, beautiful image of Naomi Osaka. This was during a game, and a butterfly was on her leg, and she went to pick it up. Absolutely gorgeous, very deserving picture, and I love Naomi Osaka. What a wonderful picture. Okay, that is pretty much all. I'm going to end with your comments, and we will call it a day. Lavender, waiting patiently for Megan's podcast. Yes. Please drop archetypes. Please, Megan, please. Katarina, it's cold. Not yet cold, but really wet. Okay. SP talk. She's been listening to you, Anne. The ring is cursed. Listen, everybody you've done been saying that ring is cursed for the longest time. And what does it say about William? That he would give her that ring. Or, we know that how copycat is. Maybe she actually asked for that ring. Like, I know that we always come down on William, like, oh, why would he give his wife a cursed ring? But for all we know, she could have actually asked for it. But it's fine because Megan got the freedom ring. Valkyrie, Charlotte always looks a bit uncomfortable. All of the kids actually always look uncomfortable, which is really unfortunate. Sister, in the beginning, Baldy was adamant about not exposing his children. Yes, and we haven't really actually seen them um that much. It's just like more recently you're seeing them a lot. The children was referred to as C knots because they were rarely seen. Now he's using the kids for good publicity. Yeah, and his kids are the only thing that he can use. What happens when they grow up? Mina, I hope and pray that Kate and William's children will be all right and have their Uncle Harry's number on speed dial. I hope they get to speak to Harry and Meghan as well. Hope they do. Now, Miss P talks. They will not put him in number 10 anyway. He also said today that he took money from the poorer community and gave it to Kent Tunbridge Wells community, who is rich in wealth. Yes, I did see that. For our non-British friends, what Miss P talks is saying is true. I mean, how can you literally sit there and brag about moving much needed money from poorer communities to rich communities, not even not even being sorry um, about his criminality? Inspired, that guy should not be allowed to lead the Conservative Party. It sounds like he's trying to silence people. The USA has freedom of speech to the First Amendment, and it's being taken away slowly. Yes, to be honest, neither of the Tory candidates are good picks because they're Tories. I mean, actually, there's a slide that I forgot to put up, but this says a lot. London housing market. In March, we signed a 2-year contract for a 3-bed flat in Tooting, 1950 per month. In June, the contract was terminated by the agent and landlord, and we were given 2 months' notice. That flat has gone for 2,800. This country is uninhabitable. And she goes on to say, oh, and wages are stagnant, energy prices are debilitating, and purchasing butter needs a mortgage. The Tory vote is a character trait, and I don't want to be your friend. I agree. It's really the way people are struggling, and it's like they're more concerned about taking away people's rights and getting money to their Tory friends than helping the British people. It's mental. Dara, Meghan wears her rings, but only her gold band when going to poor areas, not to draw attention away from the reason of being there. That is a very great observation. I didn't actually notice that, but that's a very good point. I feel like I'd probably do that as well if I had something like that expensive on because it's just a bit like I think it's just a bit tone deaf to like show up just blinging inexpensive jewelry. Legs, not to be shady, but maybe the ring got stuck somewhere. Do you peg? Y'all and your shade. Uh, Thank you everyone so much for coming. We're almost done. Thank you, Mercy Thomas. You have a great weekend too. Lisa, Andrew will probably never leave the Royal Lodge as it was be is it bequeathed to him by the Queen Mother upon her death. Okay, I didn't know that. There's also incredibly security there as it's on the grounds of Windsor Castle. Yes. Legs. It's weird to me because there should be child labor laws. Yes, but I see that actually brings up a very good point because they will argue that these things are work, right? That engagements are work. So technically speaking, this is work. Unless you're going to say that showing up to sports events and cutting ribbons is now not work. Unless you're going to finally admit that. But Anne highlighted that the people in the monarchy are exempt because of the Queen. Hmm. Okay, loves, there are a good couple of books to read. Yes, there's Diana's book, there's Meghan Misunderstood. When the bench takes about 10 minutes, if you want to count the bench. Obviously Harry's book coming. I mean, do you know what? Actually, now that I've thought about it, the other books, I feel like everybody can kind of read in their own time, like Meghan Misunderstood and Diana's book. But I think with Harry's book, I will make that a book club thing. And if you're able to keep up with my reading speed, um, we can read that together. And I do read quite quickly. All right, who's going to get the last word of the day? Thank you, Lucy Wynn, for thanking everyone. I'm very glad to be back on my laptop again and with relatively stable internet. So, has the sound been okay, everyone? Just confirm with me before we log off. If the sound's been okay, then I don't have to worry about getting all kinds of gadgets and all sorts. Happy weekend to you too, Carol. You go enjoy your dinner. Thank you, Crazy Trucker. Yes, Joan, if it's work for adults, then it's work for kids. Kim, you're late. Oh, I gotta watch on replay, hun. We're just finishing off now. Let's okay. You're saying that the sound was pretty good. Okay. All right, that's fantastic. Thank you for letting me know. Legs, thank you so much for the super sticker. Much appreciated. All right, Kim, you've joined late, but you can watch the replay and I'll give you the last word of the day. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Yes, indeed. Do enjoy your weekend. Love you all. Bye.
soul.